So guys, we wanted to release a longer version with more information on the Trailside salad video. Here it is. Hey guys, it's Chuck Grove with Foraging Truth, and today it's been kind of dry, but there we have a lot of plants up. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw together a little salad, just like a trailside salad, we're going to call it, I guess. So first thing we have, you see this right here, this grass sticking up. You can see that it's got a round leaf, and they're kind of taller and thicker, and then they have some of these branches in it. Kind of looks like chive, doesn't it? Well, there's a smell being emitted from this. This is onion grass. So with there being a plethora of onion grass on both sides of this trail, I'm going to go ahead and harvest some bulbs today. Not a lot of people eat this. In fact, I've seen a lot of videos on how to get rid of it in your yard. I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't be getting rid of free onions. So I'm going to get in my bag here, and like I said, I keep most of my tools on the outside pocket. They're easier to get to. I think maybe I would have put my zipper in my bag a little higher, but get out this fluorescent orange shovel, and I'm going to find the base of this plant. And right there, I can see that is the base. So I'm going to take my shovel and go straight down alongside of it, and I'm just going to kick the dirt back a little bit, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to kick my shovel back a little bit, and what I'm going to do is push the plant to where I made some space, and then I'm going to take and go back straight down again, and then I'm going to loosen everything towards that open space I made. And I'm going to reach down in the ground and find the bulbs. I didn't get them all. I don't necessarily need to take all of them with me. See, there's some here and there's some here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pat this off. Now I got some hitchhikers, some other plants that they grew up through. I'm going to definitely make sure I get all those away from what I'm trying to harvest. Then I can go ahead and replace the other plants, and this is what we have. Onions, we have the bulbs, we have the root sections, and we have the greens, because I do want to eat this in the woods. Notice I'm using my shovel to spray against. Now I can see there's some debris in there once I get the dirt away. Remember, this is salt water. I use salt water when I'm cleaning stuff. Now my hands aren't completely clean. I know I'm not going to get all the dirt off. Helps if your hands are clean too. But what I'll probably do is I'll probably carry these down the trail with me a little ways and let that dry. Make sure you always put your gear back, or you will be lacking your gear when you get to the next spot. Do everything. So we have fresh chive and wild onion grass. Let's keep going. So guys, there's a few things in this area I'm seeing right offhand, and if you remember our video on yarrow, there's some yarrow coming up right here, and since I do not have problems with thin blood or my blood pressure, I'm going to go ahead and harvest a little bit of this yarrow. Not a lot, just enough. Yarrow has a lot of health benefits, and like I said, we made a video on this before, so I have some yarrow in my bag now. There's a lot of plants sitting right in front of me here. Right away I see we have a mullein plant. I'm gonna leave this guy go. This would be a nice one for getting a few leaves to dry and give to my uncle, but I have plenty of these around my house, so I'm gonna leave this one where we're in a public area. This is a nice thing for people to see. But right here, you'll see that we have a dandelion. And there's actually one down here by my knee. But this dandelion is up off the ground and there's not a lot of dirt on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and harvest some of this dandelion leaf, because what's a salad without greens? Now while I'm doing this, I'm actually looking to see if there's any, you know, discolored leaves, anything bad. Don't really need to harvest or worry about over harvesting dandelion. You can harvest a lot of dandelion and be fine. Now you definitely want to get it when it's smaller, because dandelion tends to get bitter with age. And you, like I said, when you're putting something that you're going to eat right here and now, that's dandelion, but that is not dandelion. And you want to make sure you're just getting what you want. This is dandelion right here. But if you notice, there's this other plant mixed in with the dandelion. And this is a danger of foraging. I can take a piece of this dandelion and be fine. But if I get these leaves with that dandelion, I don't know what that is. So now you're eating something that might not be edible, it might even be toxic. So make sure you're harvesting what you want, you know, and only what you're going to eat on the trail side. So dandelion. Now I'm not going to fill up my whole bag with dandelion, because there's better things out here flavor wise to harvest. But dandelion is definitely very good for you. Helps with a lot of urinary problems, urinary tract problems. It also increases urinary flow. So I am getting older, so I guess that might be a good idea. Let's keep going. So guys, it looks like we found some more dandelion. Or did we? Or is this dandelion? Let's take a look. And here we have a dandelion. You'll notice that all the little flowers that make up this flower head are the same on the dandelion. But on this one, they look different. And if you can see it, down in the center there's about 20 to 30 small flowers, individual flowers. And you also notice that the stem of the dandelion has this white patchy stuff on it, but it's relatively smooth and it's hollow, and it has a milky substance when you cut it or break it off. And with the dandelion, there's a lot of milky plants that are toxic, but the dandelion is a milky plant that is not toxic. So this is definitely not smooth. You can see these scales are on the stem of this plant. You see the scaling and how this one's closed up and hanging, but this one's open, and they all seem to be coming from the same spot. And there's all these different plants the whole way over, and you can see as I pan over that there's a lot of them. Well, this is actually all one plant. There's in the ground after the stem, there's what they call, and it's an underground stem, it's called a rhizome, and the rhizome branches between all of these plants. So these are all clones of one another, and this is colt's foot, because when the leaves come up, after this is a plant that the flower comes up first, and after the flower's done, the leaves will start coming up later on. But what happens with this is it acts like a dandelion, and the stem will grow longer once it pollinates. Once this gets pollinated, it'll grow longer, and you'll have a big fluffy top, and that'll spread the seeds out. Now, coltsfoot, I've never eaten, but when the leaves come up, you can take the leaves and dry them in a dehydrator, and you can make a decoction. How you do that is you take all these dried leaves, put them down in some boiling water, and you boil it. Gotta love trains. So when you boil those leaves, you boil those down, you get a nice darker fluid, like a nice dark tea, and you can throw in some brown sugar or whatever you have to sweeten that up and make a syrup. And what you can use that for is a bunch of different lung issues, like if you have a cough or cold, if you have a chronic cough, and you're actually making your own cough syrup. So the genus name of coltsfoot is Tussilago farfaris, and where they derive that Tussilago would be tussis, which is Latin for cough. So that is the way we remember coltsfoot, Tussilago farfaris. And you might have heard those little hints of those names in some different cough syrups that are over the counter that you can buy at the store, like Robitussin or Tussin or any of those things. Tussilago farfaris, tussin being cough. That's what this plant will help you with. This is one of the top uses for this plant that is right along the sides of your trails of your forests, and possibly even in your yard. But we are not going to harvest any coltsfoot for our trailside salad, so we're going to keep going. Garlic mustard. Let's talk about some identifying features. The leaves are kidney shaped. They're very, very veiny. You can see there's like one vein goes down through the center, and then it kind of branches off with the leaf. But then you see all these different veins going off all the different directions on that leaf. There is a slight purple to the bottom of the leaf. It could possibly be at this younger stage. The stems are very purplish, and they have like a hairiness to the edges of them. And also, I'm noticing the stem is kind of like celery. It has the inside is concave towards the center of the plant, and it's rounded towards the outside. But again, with garlic mustard, I'm going to use a smaller leaf. The best way to tell it's garlic mustard is to tear up a leaf, crush it up, and that's garlic mustard, because you smell that real garlicky smell. Now, this is an invasive plant. It's actually from Europe, and it was brought here, and I think in one of my last videos I brought up the fact that it actually kills off its competition by the root actually admits a substance into the ground, and it kills off all of your competitor plants for the nutrients these plants are fighting for right now. So this thing will actually kill off all the other plants, but this whole plant is usable from us. So what we're going to do is, well, we probably shouldn't kill that worm, but is remove this plant, root and all, if we can. And it looks like we got it. All right, so we have this whole thing here. Cleaning off the fibers of the root. All right, so, and we have hitchhikers. There's always hitchhikers. Garlic mustard. This is, of course, what we see above the soil, and this is what we're going to see below the soil. Now, the root has a really interesting thing you can do with it. If any of you like horseradish, this has a very similar flavor and smell. It has some of the same compounds in it. So you can actually extract the roots, and you can clean these off and put them in your food processor and make something for your eggs in the morning, or however you like to use horseradish. So we're going to go ahead and take this whole plant with us. Now I am going to separate the roots from the plant because I'm looking at using the fresh greens from this plant. Now you don't want to eat way too much of this. This plant's really high in oxalic acid. So some of it's good for you, too much is bad for you, like so many other things in life. So let's keep going. And what would a salad be without purple dead nettle? Let's make sure we have the right thing. So as you can see, it has a white interior and a purple flower just sitting on my finger there. The flowers are coming out sporadically between the leaves and the top. It's squared stemmed. It's got a square stem. It has purple on the stem. And it's not stinging me, it's purple dead nettle. So, I'm just going to go ahead and gather some up. I'm not going to take it all. Somebody else can enjoy some of the dead nettle from right here. And I do like the way those flowers taste though. So, alright, let's go put this together. So let's make a salad. First I'm going to start with the garlic mustard, and I'm just going to start looking for leaf sections. Have nice big fat leaves on them. This one's actually, this garlic mustard is starting to get the flowers on the top. You see it down in here. So I definitely want that. Keep these nice tender tops. Throw that off to the side. Looks like some of our smaller stuff's already starting to wilt. We haven't had some good rains in a little while, so everything's fighting for water. Just take some clippings out of there. Now, put some onion in here. This is the onion grass. Now, I'm going to take the bad leaves off of some of this. And some of this area right here is still dirty. So since I'm in the field, I'm not going to fight with dirt. I'm just not going to use the dirt. Now, some chive. Then we have all of our purple dead nettle. What I'm going to do with the yarrow and the dandelion and the big leaves of garlic mustard, I'm just going to fluff them around a little bit. Now I'm going to garnish my outdoor salad with purple dead nettle. And how I'm going to do that is just use my clippers. So, and remember to take the leaves off. The leaves are nice and tender, and the flowers do actually garnish pretty nice. So, and if you didn't use it, you could put it in your pack if you didn't have such a hot day out of nowhere when there's no rain. And you know what you can use your salt water for too. Nice little mist. Make your salad nice and wet. And awesome. Camera guy, you want some? Here you go. If you mix the garlic mustard with the dead nettle, try it. It actually is good.
It's like garlicky, but it's bitter.
Well, there's also the other stuff in it. Here.
Yeah, and the dead nettle's not bad.
Tease some of that with there. It's amazing, guys. All these things are just given to us. We take it for granted. It's like, you know, it's nice when it's green out, the spring's coming, but all the things that you're looking at that are pleasing to the eye and that have flowers on them and it cause the birds and the insects to come alive again, and spring gets in full bloom. And we buy weed killer to kill these things off in our yards, but they have so much nutritional value that they beat out all the food that you can buy in the store that's been raised to grow faster, to stay longer, and genetically modified. Everything we need has been given to us in the creation. It's almost like one is forced to go foraging. So guys, if you enjoyed the video today, make sure you forage that like button. Stick that in your subscribe basket, and then ring your dinner bell, and always keep foraging. A man can't live off greens alone.